I'm back. I know some of you are probably going, "Oh, not that guy again." But yeah, I am back. And it is Joe Zone, episode 13 for the Bama Toy Mercs. And first, on a serious and personal note, thanks, guys. Thank you, ladies, for all of the support with the surgical stuff to begin with a month or so ago. And then, of course, my mom's passing, oh, wow, a week ago today. So that's an extremely heartfelt thank you to all of you that sent your support. These three guys right here, especially, and John's wife, Nancy, were fantastic. And Phil and Corey and Kyle and a few of you other guys, especially, a special shout out. So, with all of that said, it is greatly appreciated. And I am back now. You'll notice that I have a helper with me today because we're going to do some stuff a little later when it's my turn. But until then, we'll get back on our regular rotation. And we're going to go see what Mr. John has for this week. You all set, John?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. So last week we talked about cleaning our action figures and toys and things, and had a new segment. What's John cleaning this week? So that was last week. So this week we're going to talk about another challenge for collectors, and that's hardly a day goes by when I don't have somebody say, "Hey, what do you do when you got all these action figures and you just don't have nowhere to display all of them? What's the best way to store them?" Okay, maybe once a month. But anyway, okay. All right. Would you believe at least once a year I have somebody ask me that? So I tell them, I say, "Hey, just remember, WWJD. What would John do?" So,
okay, now we're gonna have new t-shirts.
So this
our
week,
next t-shirt for the group.
So this week we're going to be introducing another new segment. What's John storing this week? Or how's John storing it? So a lot of good ideas. I've seen a lot. And I've tried a lot of things myself. I've gone, through multiple different phases on collecting and storage. So, okay, let's. If y'all know, it's not an earthquake. I promise. It's just one of my cats rubbing on the chair leg of my TV tray here. Okay. Get in there. Okay. All right. So let's before we really get started, let's kind of go back some time ago to our childhood, and the toy companies even back then they said, "Hey,
man, you gotta go."
Yeah. You've been watching too much Wayne's World. Okay. So this is weird. I can't see nobody else on my screen. I don't know what's going on.
It's all about you, man. All about you.
So you can make faces at me. It won't faze me. I can't see you.
Exactly. You don't even know it. You don't even want to know what Shane's doing.
Trying to get this onesie on.
Yeah, maybe it's a good thing I can't see nothing.
I don't have that luxury.
I forgot to introduce my co-host, Mr. Stay Puft here. But anyway, so going back to the early days, kids had all these toys, and like I'm sure G.I. Joes were a lot like Legos. There were probably a lot of parents walking through the house during the night and stepped on a G.I. Joe or something. So the toy companies right off the bat, they said, we got to have something for the kids to keep their toys in. And one of the earliest things I can remember, and y'all probably remember it too, because really the 3 3/4 inch really took off with Star Wars. And so, Kenner, they put out, remember this guy? So
Oh, big time, yeah.
yeah, the Darth Vader case, and I actually picked this thing up like I don't know 7 or 8 months ago for like $10.
Cool.
Good
And
price.
so yeah, I couldn't pass that up, right?
Nope.
And it's even actually got, as you can see, it's even still got some of the stickers not even put on there yet.
Awesome.
But it's got, you know, you had a place for the weapons and places for the figures with their names and all that. So really cool. And then they also done a C-3PO that was like metallic. Really cool. And I'm a C-3PO fan myself, so I gotta track me down one of those vintage C-3PO cases. But
I got you.
anyway, then come my G.I. Joes, and I always loved this. I've had one of these since the very beginning, and that was this little beauty right here. Okay, Stay Puff, you're gonna have to move over to the side here now. So.
Barely's blocking the view.
But I liked it. Had it, you know, it didn't show the figures on the back. I just wish they'd have made it where it would hold 4 more figures, where you could have got all 16 in there. That would have been great.
Cool.
I guess they figured, you know, a lot, you know, the vehicle, you know, drivers you'd have with the vehicles. I don't know. It had. I'm missing one sticker in this one. I've been trying to. It's hard to find these with all the stickers in there intact. This is as close as I've been able to come, and I still got my old one that I had, but it's kind of wore out. And I don't know if you can tell. You can see right here. This one hasn't been. It's got the holes where you can actually hang it on the wall.
Oh, nice.
And I did that with my old one, but this one I didn't because it kind of messes up the outside, and also I just left this one. But it had a place for the file cards, place for the weapons and the figures. And then there's been various other different things that they put out, G.I. Joe especially. Y'all, you know, we looked at this one here a while back, a few weeks ago, the regular G.I. Joe case. And I don't know why all that time I was thinking it was actually put out by Hasbro, but it's not. It's the Tara Toy Company. But, you know, it had the, you open it up and it had a place for some of the bigger accessories or some of the bigger figures. 2 trays, you know. And I don't know if you remember, I think it was probably around 86 or 87. They did, and I actually had one and it broke, and I think I threw it away, but it looked like an American flag. It was G.I. Joe. It looked like an American flag. It had clips on it where you could clip the figures on there. I don't know if you guys remember that or not.
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
It was kind of neat. The only thing was it didn't have no place to put the accessories or anything. So you could just put the figures on there to display, but that was about it. This is another neat case that I come across here a few years ago. And it's a jumbo case. It's pretty big. And it's definitely jumbo. It's actually 1985. I do not remember it. I don't know if I ever saw it in the stores or not, but it's got artwork on the inside. Pretty cool.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I don't know if I can get it where you can without the glare on it. But it didn't have any trays or anything, so I guess you just stick the figures in there loose, or you could stand it up like that maybe as a display and just stand them on it, because that's kind of a hard plastic.
Yeah,
right. So I thought that was neat. I had another one. It just said action figures, but it looked like it kind of resembled the cover of the Marvel G.I. Joe #1. Had the soldier coming out at the front, kind of sort of like this with you. And I remember it was red and yellow. The front of it was yellow. But it was like a generic collector's case. Later on, I think in the 90s, because I'd kind of quit collecting Joes in the 90s. I was on to other things. That's when I got real heavy into collecting comics. But they had some melloways for these kind of cases. The hard shell. I think there were 2 different ones, maybe 3.
I've got a green one like that.
Okay, yeah, I think one of them was is it kind of like an olive green or dark green?
Yep.
Okay. And I remember how to open it. And it was basically the same thing as the other. It just had some shells there. Actually, it's still got a booklet in there.
I used it for accessories.
Yeah. And these pull out, so you can. There's different slots where you can move them up and down. I don't know if this. I mean, mine may be missing some. I don't know, but
Mine has 2 as well. So
Okay, so maybe 2 was all it come with, and it just was adjustable. Well, how you get them back in there, I don't know. Back in there, one they come out. Don't let them come out. You won't ever get them back in. So anyway, that was another cool one that they did. I'm not going to see it right here. Was the pocket.
No,
And where you can slip your
on the
belt in
belt.
there. And this one, I actually got this one, a mail-in Starduster. They done a Starduster that come with this. Open it up, and you can put 3 Joes in there. And later on, of course, you had. You guys recognize this one? This was from the Night Force deployment mail-away. It had a repeater. Let's see, who was it? I'm drawing a blank now. I remember repeater and 2 other Joes. I think Charbroil and one other one. I done forgot now. I think Falcon might have been. I can't remember, but they were the Night Force, and to find this still sealed in the mailing packet is, gosh, it goes for a lot of money now. But it's basically the same. It's just the same one as this one, but it's black. And oddly enough, while we're talking about these, I'd actually found this. Apparently, remember Cops and Crooks?
Oh yeah.
So Hasbro took the same one, and they made this, but it wasn't for figures. It was to put, because remember Cops and Crooks had like the guns that you would put the cap gun, like the cap guns.
Yeah.
They had the little rolls of caps that come with the figures to make their accessories, pop like shooting a gun. And they made this. Apparently, this was a Toys R Us exclusive in Canada, and they made it to sell with or as giveaways for the Cops and Crooks figures, so that you could store your caps in this, your rolls of caps that go with the figures. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and it was being basically G.I. Joe, because it's got the Hasbro. Hasbro done Cops and Crooks too. They were basically larger versions of G.I. Joes because they had O-rings, but they were more like 5-inch figures. So I actually was able to pick that up a few years ago, and I thought it was interesting. I'd never seen one before. Surprisingly, I didn't pay that much for it neither. So I guess a lot of people, since it didn't say G.I. Joe, a lot of people didn't really care. Maybe not that many people in the Cops and Crooks. I don't know. I just got it because it was like, it was a G.I. Joe case that they just, basically rebranded. So that being said, those are some of the things they had when we were kids to put our action figures in. Now as adults, we tend to, over the years, accumulate a lot of action figures, and I've saw a lot of people, talked to a lot of other people, and I'll show you kind of what I've done and some of the different things that I've come up with. Let's talk bigger figures first before we get down to the G.I. Joes. Let me see where I'm at. Okay. So recently, what I've been, let me see. Let me make a little room here. So like my Marvel Legends, I really don't have nowhere to put my Marvel Legends, and I've run out of room basically, and so right now most of my Marvel Legends, this is how I'm storing them. So I've got about 6 of these totes full, and I have their accessories. I mean, a lot of them are in baggies. The old vintage. Got the old Bucky. But a lot of my Marvel Legends, and then some of them some of the bigger ones I just got in there. But I try to put them in baggies because let me tell you, if they get hot, especially those with white outfits, they'll tend to stick to the others, and then you'll have all different colors on that figure. So it's best to try to keep them, so that they don't stick together, and keep them individually in baggies or something.
Paint rub the problem.
Right. So I actually saw this in a Marvel Legends group that I'm in on Facebook, and a guy posted the pictures, and I thought, man, that looks pretty neat. He had a good thing going. Like my accessories, I use as you can see, the Plano plain old cases they sell over in the, which, you know, I'll show you other uses for this later, but I got a lot of my Marvel Legends accessories in there. I take, for instance, and this is ideas for people, and some of these ideas I got from other collectors, some of them I come up with myself. So like these accessories, okay, whoops, okay, that's Psylocke accessories, because I took the little clipping off the back of the box and put in there with it, so I don't forget whose accessories they are. So just you know, little things like that you can do to kind of keep them organized. But what I discovered was some guy posted this on a Marvel Legends group. These pencil boxes, they're just the right size for 6-inch Marvel Legends.
Oh, nice.
And they're sold from Michael. And I found there's a Michael's over near me. It's about nearly an hour drive, and I went in there the other night and they didn't have any at all in stock. But I ordered these off of Amazon. If you get them, Michael sells them through Amazon, and if you order them from there, you can get 12 of them for $20. So
wow.
The retail on them in the store is like $1.97, but if you order them there, you can get 12 of them for $20. And if you order 36 of them, which puts it at about $60, you get free shipping if it's over $49, I think. So, you know, I ordered 36 of them here a few weeks ago to try out, and they work really well. And the best part about it is, I mean, like I said, the thing is they only hold regular size Marvel Legends, so the oversized they don't hold. And but one of the things I like is I can also keep the accessories in there with them.
All right.
I even got my little clipping to go with a figure, but I know that way if I take the figure out and display it, I can keep the box. And what I intend on doing later is putting a label on here with a label gun, and maybe putting the character's name in or something. But they simply snap.
I bought 21 of them at Walmart for 25 cents a piece when they went on clearance after school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They had colored ones and they had clear.
Yeah.
So I didn't get none of the colored ones. Just
now what right, and that's what I like about these. They're clear and you can see through them. You know. So I did do a little looking around this past weekend.
How well do they stand up, John?
What's that?
Stand them up, like if you wanted to put them in there and stand them up on a shelf.
Yeah, well, you'd have to lean them up.
Have to lean
Yeah,
them.
because it's got a flap here.
Right. Okay.
So the guy that I saw put it in the group, he actually had a big plastic tote, and these fit perfectly. I don't know what size tote it was, but they fit perfectly. He had them all stacked in that tote,
Nice
and neat. But it keeps them separated, and really keeps them from touching, and like I said, keeps some paint rubs and things.
You can get them to stand. You can get them to stand vertically. I did one with like 10 of them to make a Hall of Armor picture.
Wow.
Put my armor in it and stuff because they also catch light for pictures and stuff too. So yeah, that's what I thought of when I seen them. I'm like, I can do a Hall of Armor.
I did find some. Of course, they're little. I mean, these are about $4.50, but I found these at Hobby Lobby, and they work good for, like, you know, army builders. I could probably put a third or maybe even four, because it's actually, you can see there's a little room in there. Maybe four of the AIM soldiers in there. What I really got it was to try on the bigger ones, and it actually does work on the bigger ones too. As you can see, I got an Ultimate Green Goblin in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a tight fit, but he fit. Now there's some of the bigger ones like the Monster Venom. The problem is it would fit, but he's so thick. He's actually, his chest and all is actually thicker than a little bit thicker, so he don't fit in there well. But it works well for some of the bigger ones like this. And like I said, they're easily stackable, just like these others are. And I sent Rick, if you could show that one picture. Yeah, so that's them. I stacked them up on a shelf just to see how they look. And if you imagine them with like labels on the end, then you can just go right down there and, you know, find the figure you're looking for and pull it out. if you wanted to display them, something like that, or put them on, if you had shelves or maybe in a closet or something, you wanted to store them. And my goal is eventually to get everything organized and have a few shelves that I have for Marvel Legends and just rotate them out. And, take them like display different teams and all. Right now I got one shelf that I've got the New Mutants displayed on. And then I can rotate them out. So, I don't, they're not just stuck away in a box somewhere. They get to see a little daylight every once in a while. So until I hit the lottery and build a building, as big as a Walmart where I put everything in. Until then, this is one of the things I'm trying here with my Marvel Legends. Something that, and I like that because I do have OCD, so this stuff like this, it really makes me feel calm instead of just having them thrown into a tote.
They fit Black Series perfect.
What's that?
They fit Black Series perfect.
Yeah, Black Series. I actually put a couple of Star Wars into them just to try them out. All right, if you can go back and hold off on the other two pictures, let me show a few other things right quick. So again, also now if you wanted to hang some on the wall, you can get these, and this is a Rambo, 80s Rambo figure. I think it's about a 6-inch figure, and they make these. It'll actually go up to about, you could probably put a 7-inch figure in there. But they have the thing where you could actually hang them on the wall. And I actually have my Rambo because they're not a whole lot of those figures. They only done like 2 waves, and I've got them hanging up on the wall. Got all their accessories in there. Got their little booklet and all in there. And it's a good size to put most everything in there. So you have these. Unfortunately, like He-Man, Master of the Universe, the vintage ones, they're kind of bulky, so they don't fit in there. So I have tried. Like I said, there's others. This is one that I found, and most of these cases I got from a website called theearthtoymall.com. I haven't ordered from them in a while, but I've been ordering from them for years, and they're, at the time when I was looking, I looked for cases everywhere, and I found them to be the cheapest. Now, that may not be true anymore. I don't know. I hadn't really, like I said, not looking, but these have like a curved top, and I wish they'd make them just square like the other, but they don't. They make them with a curved top, but they do make different sizes. So if you got a bigger figure, like old Too Bad here, you see it's a little bit bigger, and it'll fit Too Bad pretty good. And some of the others, I got some of the birds like Screech. Remember the birds, Screech, and the one that's supposed to be the sorceress. I forget the bird's name. Or was that the Screech? Screech was the bad guy, the purple one, I believe. But anyway, they'll fit in there too, in the bigger one. Then when you go down to smaller, like 5-inch, like She-Ra, they make these little cases here where if you want to hang them on the wall or something, they make these. And again, I got these from the same place. And then when you want to go 3 3/4, they also make these. To hold the Joe, you have their accessories in there and all. Now, what I done with my G.I. Joes, let me back up for a minute. So I started out some of those and hanging them on the wall, but of course, there's a lot of G.I. Joes, and I don't have very much wall, So what I ended up doing was using some of the Plano cases, as you can see here. Get the glare off of there. And I use these so like you can put the figures. These are my straight arm Joes that I keep here in the house. I got I just put all their accessories here in this one slot. Got their file cards here, so you can take the pieces out. They're interchangeable to adjust the sizes, so you can make room and put the file cards in there. And y'all probably seen me using these before and some of the other stuff. Let me set this down where I can get to them.
And those are expensive also. They're like $3-4, $3 or $4.
Yeah, they're like $3.74. I've got a ton of them. I bought them over the years. I'd buy like 2 or 3 a week for many years. Another option. So remember, okay, so what, like works good for Star Wars 2. got their you can't really see it, but I got their file card clippings there in the back. I just kind of put, this is that case I never could find when I was doing those variations. So now you can see my brown vest and my black vest Luke that I was missing in some of the other ones. But and I had them labeled, so that's what I like about these. You can label them so you can look real quick and see what's in there. This Power of the Force 2, 1995 to 2000. I had all my G.I. Joes at one time in these cases. As you can see, the what they call 4-inch, which was the near the 25th anniversary, they do pretty well except for the ones that fit on the side, and you kind of have to bend their legs. As you can see this guy, but they do fit in there. And again, I could label these 2008 Series 25. And, I started out by putting the file card in there, like I did that, like I had for my straight arm. But that was taking up 3 spaces that I could put 3 more Joes. And if you think about all the G.I. Joes they put out, that ran up to a lot more cases. And then I run into storage space for storing the cases. So what I ended up doing was just put the figures in these. And then I would take a big binder. As you can see, I got them labeled. These are file cards for 2009 to 2011. And these are photos from but you put photographs in. You can buy the sleeves in Walmart, and they fit the file cards pretty easy. If you even the smaller ones, you can get 2 per slot on those with new ones. So so that's another idea for have all your file cards there together in one spot. Have your figures in the cases. Another option there. As far as carded figures go, and I'll go into a little bit more on what I'm doing currently with my G.I. Joes, but before we get there, I got a few other things. Of course, they make cases for carded G.I. Joes. This case is a Protecto pack, and I really like these. They're a little sturdier. These come from I don't remember where I got these. You can't hardly find these anymore. What the Toy Earth Mall, they have these kind, which are star cases. And they're good. They're not as, they don't feel like they're as thick as these. But the thing I really don't like about them is this part sticks up so high. I mean, it's not a deal breaker for me, but it works. And the only problem with these cases, really, in any cases like this, and you'd think by now whoever makes these cases would figure it out, but they always put the peg to hold it right in the center. Most figures are carded to one side, so when you hang them on the wall,
Yeah, exactly.
but they're like, I don't know why they don't put multiple holes across the top so you can stick it in and balance it. To me that makes sense. But anyway, for carded figures, I mean, that's a good way to keep them protected. This is really the only vintage carded figure I got. Of course, it's the bat. I had to have one of the bat. I picked it up many years ago, and obviously, older vintage cards you want to be protected from dust and things, so those work really well. Another option for 6-inch figures, but these are a little more expensive. I got a couple of them just to try out. They're really nice, but like I said, I think they're something like $8 a piece.
Cool. Yeah.
These are good for display, though. And I tell you, I mean, like I said, if it weren't, I would probably have got more of these if it wasn't for the price point. So, but these are also made by Protech. That's Protech. Same with those other cases. But the good thing about them is they are stackable. Well, I mean, you could go up 4 or 5 high if you wanted to, and stack them where they take up less shelf space, and they work out pretty well. But again, like I said, they are a little more expensive. Then you got Ziploc baggies you can put them in that you can hang up and whatnot. But currently, what I'm working on with my G.I. Joes, like I said, I used to hang them on the wall, and I run out of wall space quick. So what I'm doing now, I'm trying to get away from the Protect cases because, believe it or not, like I said, they take up a lot of space too. After so long, you start running out of place to put those. So what I'll do is I'll take these cases here, And I got a these are star cases that you actually get for carded Hot Wheels. And these are not the they got some called the Space Saver that's just about half right here. Only the bottom half sticks out and the rest of it's flat. But these were the first ones they come out with for Hot Wheels, and you put the Hot Wheel, it's perfect size for Hot Wheel, but it's also perfect size to fit two of these other ones in, like so. And then you can also take their file cards and put right behind them, and you got the file cards with them. And I done, something I was working on. I printed these off on a printer, just kind of made a backdrop. Kind of had the characters, Flint and Footloose there, and kind of put in there behind it, and then stuck the file cards in there and fixed it up. And then I hang these up. So
pretty awesome.
So and you can do. Best part about it is, like if you got a bigger figure, like Deep Six and his hose, it'll fit that perfectly. I took just a few different examples. I kind of took the twins, and I was able to get a good photograph of both of those together like that for my backdrop. And so I just done the single backdrop on those. Same way with my Zorana. I don't know if you can see the photo in the background. I just took one of Zorana and put the earring and non-earring headed variations. Of course, got the file cards in the back, and those work really well. Another option, and a good buddy of mine, Terry Ruin. I don't know, you guys probably seen him in some of the other groups. He's up in southern Indiana. He sets up at the Kentucky show a lot, and he sells these cases, which are really nice. And what I like about it is they're right in the center, so when you hang it up by that in the middle, guess what? It stays straight. So I love that part. He sells these. It's got the you put the file card in the back. He's got some of them. He's got some that's actually got the character. He's trying to get more and more of the different characters on there. And actually, if you look on the back of the card, he's actually got their file card printed on the back. Even got the little flag point. But I still take my file card and stick in the back just so I keep it with a figure. He's got different kinds. He's got the one that's got the Cobra, the enemy on it, for you Cobras. And you got the bigger figures like Snake Eyes with Timber. He's got some that's got a little bit bigger bubble.
Cool.
So you can put the big ones in there. He also has these with Star Wars. He's got them with the Dreadnought background. He's got them with Tiger Force background, Night Force. I think he's even got Sky Patrol, some of the different ones. I don't know. I hadn't bought any from him lately, but they were like he was selling them at the show for like $5 a piece. I think these individually, he said he puts them on eBay at $10. These individual, like with the snake eyes on it, and he said people buy them all day long, like crazy. And but they're great. I mean, to me, if most people can't afford to get vintage figures carded, so, and I know there's a website out there that does reproduction cards where you can recard them on them. But to me, I like this, and it's a space saver because it's not as big. It takes up less space. And it's not much bigger than these. You know, they're pretty much close to the same size, maybe a little taller, but about the same width. And so what I do, what I discovered, the reason I went back to these cases, because like I said, I don't have much wall space. But Rick, if you could show those other pictures, I discovered grid wall can be your best friend when it comes to collecting. So you can put grid wall up and put these hooks on there. And you can put multiple G.I. Joes per row, just like if you're in a store. If you look at the other one, like I actually use 8-inch hooks on this one here, so I can put up to seven of these on each peg. That's 14 action figures on each peg. So it makes for storage a lot better. I mean, you got. And you can rotate them out if you want to move them to the front, so you see different ones, rotate them, or however. But you got them all right there; they're hanging up nice and neat. So if you got OCD like me, it looks, there's some organization to it, other than just some cases stacked up. But yeah, so I think that does it for me. That's it. So yeah, that's just some storage options. And if there's other guys in the group or other people watching this, if y'all got ways of storing that you want to share, please do so. I'm always up looking for new ways to store things and display things, and especially anything that saves space. Because hey, you got to have room somewhere, right? You got to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. No, great stuff. I mean, I've seen those. I've seen the fishing tackle
Well,
boxes.
I don't know what's happening, guys.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
You got a message, Dave. I don't know what he just said. Let's back that up. Wait.
Went too fast.
I'm old. I couldn't read that fast.
There we go. There we go. I think you made him mad, Dave.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, Dave.
Yeah, that's all he said. I think that's all he said. Yeah, he
You know
kind
he
of
wasn't
mad.
changing it.
I don't know what happened to the audio, but we're probably a good thing he didn't have it. So
That was a great job with the animation. Actually,
uh,
it was actually very good.
you'd have
We're
made
gonna have
some
to up our
name
security.
Yeah, right. Thank you, John. That was awesome.
Wow.
And Nancy and Corey, thank you for the comments. No, I mean storage is a real thing, whether the commander wants to interrupt or not.
There was some timing, Commander.
Awesome
I
timing. That's
gotta
right.
admit that animation was very good.
That was very good, actually.
Well, I hope I
Very
give
good.
people some good ideas. And like I said, if other people want to share their ideas, because that's what these groups are about, so we can help each other out, and
Yep.
people may have better ways of doing things. I've seen a lot of real inventive ways of doing things, and like I said, those pencil cases I picked, from a guy on another group, and I saw that and I said, wow, them actually look pretty good. They're clear, you can see them in the case, and not to sound morbid or anything like that, but you never know if something
Yeah,
were to happen to me.
right.
They're the figures there with the accessories, so Nancy, she could sell them real easy. Don't have to worry about what goes with what. It's all together. And
Right.
that's the same way with the Joes. That's why I like going back to these, where I can keep the file cards with them and keep everything there. So there's no guesswork for her. If something were to happen, she can, because I know she's not going to keep them. If something happens to me, they're gone. Unless Marshall's old enough, he can lay claim.
The thing is, you aren't supposed to worry about that stuff.
Well, when you grow up, you worry about those things. For years, that they used to have the cases. They were like the screw, nail, nut and bolt organizers with the drawers.
Uh-huh.
I had dozens of those things because you could attach those to a wall too, and each one of those drawers was perfect for a Star Wars figure.
Oh yeah.
And then almost all of them had the larger drawers in the center section, so the big figures would fit in those. You could put speeder bikes in them and everything.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had dozens of those things. But the problem with it is you got to label them, because pretty soon you've got literally hundreds of drawers.
I remember that.
And number two, they don't seal from dust. So you still get dust coming in from the backside, and you get dust from the front side. So I mean, they worked okay to keep things organized, but it really wasn't long-term storage. But that's something for guys to figure. I know they'd work great with the G.I. Joe figures.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember when you still had that Star Wars collection.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't walk up.
I had to sell it to feed you.
Yeah,
I really wish I still had my Star Wars collection.
If at some point or another we didn't need money, we never would have sold anything we ever had. If you think, I mean,
you
really,
knew it was going to be that.
because why
price.
sell it unless you need the money? Why sell it?
Exactly right.
But
All right, Mr. Shane, what do you got going on this week?
Oh, I just got a few things I found last week and this week. First thing I got was I finished my 82 Smurf glass collection.
oh, okay.
I got Hefty. He was the only one I was missing, and I finally found him. Got a real
That's
good.
Smurfing cool.
Do what?
I said that's Smurfing cool.
Smurfing, cool. Yeah, I love it. I
I
am.
wish I knew that because I got a ton of those things.
Well, I'm still looking for some. This is the 82.
Yeah.
There was 8 of those in 82, and then there's 6 in the 83 collection, and I'm looking for a few of the 83 collection also. But yeah, I've always been a Smurf fan ever since I was young, a little youngster.
Let me know which ones you're looking for. I might have them.
All right, I will. And then I picked up a few comics. I paid $1 a piece for these comics. They just hit me in the nostalgia area all of a sudden. Let me get the glare off of them. On the way with that.
You got to be careful. You get hit in that area too hard, it'll hurt pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, I just got this Marvel Age. I only paid $1 a piece for these, so I feel like come out pretty good with them. This features Doctor Strange in it, and then I picked up a Masters of Kung Fu Shang-Chi featuring Doctor Doom. Picked it up, $1. And then I got number 4 of the Pirates of Darkwater comic. And one of my favorite cartoons as a teenager, in the older teenager, 16, 17-year-old, Ren and Stimpy. I got that one. And then, of course, I picked up number 1 of the Smurfs,
Oh, yeah.
$1 for it, and the number 2
Nice.
Smurfs comic. Like I said, $1 for both of them. I've not looked any of these up. They're in really good shape too to be as old as they are. But I don't know what they're worth. Really don't care because it just hit me in the feel goods when I saw them.
Right.
And had to buy them. I picked up my buddy, one of my good friends, close pals, my old buddy Rick. He picked me up out back here.
Yep.
He opened her up last week and made sure it was there for me. So it's there. And then he also picked me up Hero.
Nice.
This is, I don't remember him much in the cartoon, but I love this figure. It's just really, really good looking figure. And I wanted it. I saw it one time, passed on it, and then Rick got it the other day, and I much appreciate that. And over the last couple of weeks, you guys have been hearing me complain about Walmart snatching these little bitty guys out of my hands. These little bitty minifig guys, the Disney minifigs. They were all over the shelves before release date, but Walmart was definitely intent on not selling them. I got me a few. I'm going to open them up, see who we get. These are blind bags. They're mystery. You don't know what you get. I kind of feel around in them to see if I can see anything or feel anything I might have. This one I don't really know. It's just kind of a grab it kind of thing. But let's see who we get in this one. I know we got a lot of people that are Lego collectors in the group. They just don't say it. This one is going to be, looks like Pocahontas. I heard a lot of stuff about this figure, how they said, oh, we're not going to make Native American figures anymore, but hey, we got a Native American figure here. And I don't know what all the crying about is. Got Native American in me. There's the little thing. It comes with some little flower petals and a compass. Looks like a little compass. And then a stand. It's got Disney 100 on it because it's 100 years of Disney. And this is the 3rd series of Disney figures they've done. And they haven't made a Pluto or Goofy yet. And to me, I think those should have been right there at the first. I do believe. I got a couple of these. I'm just going to open a couple, and then I'll get to my big open that I got that I picked up today. Let's see. Should have fell around seeing if I know who this was. I do believe this is going to be, I don't know, maybe Cinderella. Kind of who it looks like. But the one I really, really want, or maybe Sleeping Beauty, I don't know who this is. But what I really want is Robin Hood. Y'all remember the Disney cartoon Robin Hood? Was one of my favorites. And I loved it. It was just one of my favorite cartoons, Disney cartoons. But, you know, a lot of people, this is just nostalgic for me, picking these guys up. I'm guessing that's Sleeping Beauty. She's got an owl with her there and a crown. Little crown. Kind of cool. But there is several of these figures, little mini pigs, that are out right now. Let me open this little package up here and kind of let you know who it is. Some of these guys, I don't know who they are. I'm not too hip on the new cartoon Disney movies. Maybe Dave's grandson can help out with that. I don't know. But you got, I do know you got Oswald right here. And then Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket, Mickey Mouse. These next two, I don't have a clue.
Oh,
Maybe
it's Princess and the Frog.
Princess and the Frog. Okay. Thanks, Nancy.
No, it's my daughter. She
Oh, is it? Awesome.
she
Sounds like
snuck in. She snuck in here, and I just turned the mic on without her knowing.
I'm trying
And
to
then,
stop
we've got the Queen of Hearts, Sleeping Beauty. I guess that's who that is. Mulan, and then someone told me this was Coco, my nephew. That these guys were Coco. These two here are Coco, and you've got Pocahontas, Cruella de Vil, Robin Hood, Prince John, Stitch, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and the evil queen from somewhere.
Snow White.
Snow White, maybe.
She got the mirror, right?
Yeah. That's it.
Yep.
But I don't know who the two little skeleton-looking guys is, and the little white guy. I have no clue. But anyway, mainly looking for Robin Hood and Prince John.
That was Angelina Jolie at the bottom.
Oh, was it?
Maleficent from
Maleficent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
No, wait, she was Sleeping Beauty. No,
I don't know.
wait, I done got confused now. I can't remember which one was Sleeping Beauty and which one was Snow White.
Any of that?
No, she was Snow White. Maleficent was the Wicked Witch in Snow White, right?
I believe so, yeah. But got that. And then today I picked up this guy here. Salah. Found him hid behind some Legos.
Gotcha.
So I grabbed him, snatched him up real quick. So I'm gonna open him up real quick and give my opinion on him. I went ahead and cut the tape so it'd be easier this time. Well, last time was off it. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Dave. Shane took his whole 30-minute segment last week just opening one figure.
It was.
Trying to get all
Yeah.
the time this time.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It kicked my butt, man.
Moose, be quiet.
Kicked my butt big time. Funny little story while I'm opening this. I did get to meet Mr. Davies here a couple of years ago. At a friend of mine had a Comic-Con. Not a Comic-Con, but it was his version of it. And I did get to meet him there. Really super nice guy. he was talk to anybody, but he was really cool guy. Okay, so opening him up first, he looks like what he should look like to me. He's got his long garb on. He does bend to the knees at the waist. Head all up and down. It twists right, left. And this one really isn't stiff like the others that I've got in this line so far. He's loose, kind of double jointed. Arm bends way back on him, as you can see there. So he bends at the knees, like I said, bends at the knees. His feet's good. He's real loose, but not loose enough to where you would want to cry. But you could take his jacket off if you remove the arms. He's a solid figure. I don't think he's as good as the indie figure looks. But he is solid. Let's move on to the accessories here. All right. Let's start off with he comes with a shovel. Kind of a really bent shovel. He comes with a rope. And he comes with the top for the artifact. And of course, everyone knows you put the indie part pieces that come with the indie in here. So, solid figure. Looks really well. Not my best. If any of you guys has him or has an opinion on him, he does have some kind of smudge here on his. It's like a paint smudge. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that or not. Right there.
Yeah, that's weird, huh?
It is a brown paint smudge on it.
It's not supposed to be like dust.
I don't see any other on it, maybe. Maybe it is a little dust because there might be one right here.
Just dirt or something.
So it may just be a
Simulated dirt.
Yeah. He isn't as great as I expected. Stands well on his own. But any other guys got this guy?
No, I don't know. I've been kind of on the fence and off the fence and back on the fence about all of those indie figures, and I don't have any. I don't think I'm going to go there.
Well, I've just been slowly picking them up.
Yeah,
they are solid figures. They're not. They're solid. I'll say that.
Oh, they look awesome. I mean, I wouldn't do it because I question, quality or anything. They look fantastic. It's just
they do. They definitely do. But I just pick them up here and there when I can.
It's classic stuff. I mean, it's
nostalgic, man.
Yeah, it's no different than Star Wars. I mean, Indiana Jones is in a lot of ways for the older kid set was as important. I mean, it's awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's really good. I was watching the movies the other night. This is what he looks with all of his stuff attached to him.
Yeah, they're solid figures. They're just awesome figures.
They are solid. I mean, they're not great, but they're solid figures.
Right.
And for something, I'll use my rewards on this thing. I'll tell you, if you guys ain't got the rewards at Target, you need to get that.
Yeah, big time.
Because I had $8 saved up on on my rewards. Then I used my Target Circle card, and I paid less than retail for this figure.
Nice.
After taking off my Target card, you get I think it's 10% off on it. And then it was like $18. for this guy. But he's solid.
Yeah, it's well worth it because even if you're just buying grocery stuff and everything else, put that phone number in there because it pays.
Yeah, it does.
Really does.
And of course, like I said, it's got the top to the arc here. But yeah, I've just been picking them up here and there.
Yeah.
Not been going out of my way if I see one. But I was looking at these minifigs over there, and I happened to move a box. I thought, some jerk, so I'm gonna take it from him. You don't know how I am. I said, you ain't getting it, I'm gonna take it.
Well, they messed up behind the minifigs.
Well, it was the minifigs were on a end cap on the inside of the aisle, and they put it right there behind a Mario. What does everybody have stuff behind Mario for? But it was hid right behind the Mario Lego there, and I just happened to see it, so I got you, buddy. But I was wanting this one because I hope to meet Mr. John again. Reyes Davies.
He passed away, didn't he?
No,
I thought he did, but he didn't.
He's in the next movie. He did have a lot of health issues, but
Is this one of those Mandela effect things again, where everybody thinks somebody died and they didn't?
now my wife, she is on this Britney Spears kick. Everybody's saying Britney Spears is dead, and they posting all these videos and she's dead and all this. But
I didn't see that one.
yeah, just to look it up.
But seriously, I could have sworn I remembered about 10 years ago them having the news that he died.
Yeah, same here.
And then I seen him say, well, he's in the new Indiana Jones movie. And I said, how's that? He's dead. And I looked at that, and sure enough, he's still alive.
Well,
That's
it was
weird.
about 6 years ago when I met him, and he was in Florence or Muscle Shows at my buddy. He had a comic book, Top End Gaming, and he showed Yu-Gi-Oh and Dragon Ball Z stuff and all the comics and things. And he put on a con there, and he come, and man, you guys get to meet him. He's a super nice guy. Really, really likes to cut up with people. We went and eat with him and everything, and he was a really
awesome.
And my buddy, he invited me to come out with him and stuff, and I went, couldn't miss it. Who don't want to meet Gimli?
Really, exactly.
But that's pretty much what I got for today. It's been pretty. I kind of feel like what Indiana Jones feels between movies. Because the last 3 weeks has been pretty dry for Indiana Shane. He's not been finding a lot of nothing. But today I wore my lucky hat, John.
Nice.
My lucky pen,
Yeah.
Rick, and my Merc shirt, and we found something.
Nice.
Mine's going through the wash.
Yep. But
Nice.
I'd also like to say, welcome back, Dave. It's good to have you back.
I appreciate that, brother.
You're all still in my prayers. I just tell you, man. I know it's rough and everything, but you're still in my prayers.
No, that's greatly appreciated. And you guys, I got to say too, you guys did a fantastic job while I was out. So you really did.
When I asked if you was going to be back this week, because it's going to be my week to host, I was like, yeah.
I was sitting there when you were all excited earlier. I was thinking, wait a second, it was his turn again, wasn't it?
So happy.
No, you guys did a great job.
We tried, or I tried. John done a fantastic job. Rick, I'm just kind of still winging this stuff myself.
But yeah, but that's the key. We're just trying to make a comfortable thing for everybody. So just
You realize the picture switched.
yeah, it's reversed.
Man.
It's all right. You're my right hand man tonight, even though you're on my left. So
You'll have time on your right.
what do you got, Rick? Anything this week? What do you got?
Well, since he's going to talk, we talk about the Indiana Jones thing. Let me share a few pictures, and then I'm really kind of interested in watching you open up some stuff.
Yep.
So I I'm enjoying this Indiana Jones figure.
Oh,
I
nice.
think it's, that I used the overshot of Gung Ho to fit the part of the
Oh,
mechanic.
there you go.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
Great
he had about
idea.
the right kind of size and stuff. So I just remember that scene from the movie where he hits him and he just kind of falls down.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
I
about
like
the
the-
only person he wasn't able really to beat in the show. I mean, it took probably to kill that guy a little bit too big for Indy.
Yeah, I like the blood effect on the nose you got.
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, I had to put a little blood. So, and here's just a little temple shot. It's an old Lara Croft temple thing that y'all remember. Sharky's a big Lara Croft fan. So, and you dig out some of the coolest stuff from way back in the past. And there's a little mix up between 40K and Indiana Jones from a Toon World. If he was to find an old Toon World thing. So, because I didn't like the belt and stuff that come with it, so I wound up buying the belt and everything from Gridiron Studios. So I got the belt. I used the Hasbro lasso and that stuff, but you also get the torch and everything with that. That's they did an excellent job with, and of course, it's not, you can't tell, but the pistol that comes with the Gridiron thing is actually the right size, and they detailed the handle and all that kind of stuff. So I know did you get one, Shane, too?
I didn't get the gridiron, but I got the regular pistol, and it is so small.
Yeah, well, the Gridiron one it's right. The holster's a little bit bigger because of it, but yeah, it's just a little bit, a little bit better than today. I kind of did another indie shot, and so always doing, because you can do a lot of different things with. You can do a lot of different things with the Indiana.
I love that one.
Because yesterday I found out that the Hacks company had started making 6-inch figures, so I picked up the 6-inch Gladiator thing. So I don't know if it translates very well in the picture, but
I love it.
you got 2 Cobras and a few things, and he's dropped his
That's
torch
awesome.
on the ground, and so
Yeah, that's great work.
it's all one picture. But to me, in my eye, I'm like, I kind of didn't put enough color on the Indy figure because he looks like he's like cropped out and put on that, but it's actually just one picture. So because just different layers and stuff. But anyways, that's all I've got. I've been sitting here trying to block other interference things from some crazy thing out towards Cobra Island. So I'm hoping that we can keep it from the show anymore. I still can't believe. I'm like, man, what the world? So anyways, we'll move it over to you, to Mr. Dave, or should I say, quote unquote, Dad. Good
There
to
you
have
go.
back.
Nice. All right. So this is my grandson, Emmett, for those of you that do not know. And we had a graduation that we went to in Tuscaloosa yesterday, and we picked up some stuff, and some of that stuff is his. So before he starts helping me with some of this bigger stuff, I'm going to let him show what he picked up. And maybe a little information with these smaller books that he's got. If you guys have any, would be helpful. Go ahead, Emmett. Tell him what you got.
So down in Tuscaloosa, they have
I'm gonna hold it up so they can see it.
a Second and Charles. They have old Marvel comics for $90. So I look through there and go to G. They have G.I. Joe comics.
Nice.
So I got 19 of Real American Hero, and then I found these, which kind of interested me. Comics magazines, and they have 2, 3, and
Camera's
4.
over there, bud.
I know the camera's over there. I picked up 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, those are the digest.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many were there, John? Do you know?
Oh gosh, I don't know. They run for, I don't know, up through maybe issue 20.
Oh, geez, yeah, he got
'Cause
3 of them.
There's like what, 3 or 4 issues in each digest.
Yeah, thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah.
So the camera couldn't see them from that far.
Sure can.
Yeah.
They're 95 cents a piece.
I don't remember there's artwork inside. Was there? Yeah, on the last page in the
Yeah.
back they have. Yeah, the front has nothing. The front tells you what comics are in it, I guess.
I
Right.
remember them being around, but I just didn't remember that much about them.
I always like the little digests like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
This is great.
So we'll be running those down, I guess.
Yeah, I have to do a little dig. I think if you go to yojo.com, they probably have them listed under the comic section.
Oh, they might. Yeah, I didn't even get that far to look. He's excited about them, which is a good thing, you know.
I'm excited for them because they're nice.
They're in great shape. I mean, issue
Yeah.
19 is for less than $1.
I haven't opened it yet.
Well, yeah, we probably ought to keep it that way.
Yeah.
And while we were there, I got to show you guys these.
So at the same place, we find card backs for $1.
Well, they had card backs at Second Charles.
3 of them were in a comic bag: Beachhead, Shipwreck,
Oh,
and
wow.
and Torch.
And it was all $3.
And these things are in fantastic
Nice.
shape, and 95 cents for all 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
I mean, these
Hey,
are-
and that torch is unpunched, too. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that card right there is worth $3 just for it.
Yeah. So,
It's worth more than $3, probably.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I thought then we were just digging through stuff, and then he came across those books and everything else. Yeah, but it was weird. Three card backs in a comic bag for
Very
95 cents. It's like, score.
Yeah.
Definitely take that. Let me do these first. For anybody that's interested, again at Second and Charles, this new Batman Hush, the black and the gray. This is my new favorite McFarlane figure. There, I said it. It's McFarlane. Todd McFarlane made. There you go. Boy. There you go, boy. Todd McFarlane made these. This one is actually. I'm not so sure I'm going to be opening this one. This is a really nice figure.
It is
That's
really
an
nice
impact
looking.
figure.
What's that?
That's a really nice looking figure.
This one's fantastic. It's better. It's better than the black and gray that came in the Hush 2-pack.
It's more nostalgic.
Yeah, this one's really nice. This is a good figure, and these have not been. You can't get these off McFarlane's site anymore, and you can't even get them off of GameStop. So
You're kind of stuck on that word tonight, ain't you, Indiana Shane?
there
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, this is nice. One that came out last year that I found at Best Buy, because I have a habit of checking Best Buy for Jurassic Park stuff, because they seem to be getting a lot of the smaller figures that nobody else is. Speeding Bullets. It says Batman, but this is actually Superman. If you're a DC fan, you probably have already read Speeding Bullets from 20 years ago or so. If not, find a copy of it and read it. It's an Elseworld tale. It's basically, instead of Kal-El's pod landing in Kansas and the Kents finding him, lands in Gotham and the Waynes find him.
Oh, wow.
So what ends up happening is you guessed it, right? You end up with a Superman level powered Batman.
Wow.
It's actually a very good story. My daughter, who piped in a little while ago, was buying a ton of Elseworld stuff yesterday because, well, you guys
It's good
know
priced.
the new stuff isn't, but some of that old Elseworld stuff is awesome.
We're gonna get to the unboxing or the
Yeah, well, yeah. I got, while I was away, this showed up. I did not order the Zartan because, to be perfectly honest with you, I have him in the box, and I plan on trying to get the CDCC one. But I wanted to, considering the fact that these are popping back up in stores in pretty decent numbers, I wanted to just show you guys the differences between the two so that maybe this makes more sense than just having this one, if that makes any sense to you guys.
start with the shoe color.
There's most of the differences between these figures are paint.
That's what I was saying.
Okay,
shoe
bud.
color.
Yes. The bow, the red on the bow, the red on the quills is a big difference. These pads, these extra gauntlets on the arms are unique to this figure. And the soles of his tabby are black, which are, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I make of that. And of course, this one comes with a hood in the box. The carded one, all of the reds are silver. No, I got it, buddy. It's all right. All of the reds on the bow and the arrow quills and like that are silver. The bottom of his tabby are white. There's nothing but the wraps on his forearms. There's no extra gauntlet pieces. And he comes with extra hands, and of course they're flesh colored. So that was the other big difference. Where the boxed version is definitely gloved and he has bare hands. So just to try to keep it Joe centric, I think this figure is worth buying on the card if you're so fortunate. This one came from Pulse, and I have to be honest with you, the card's a mess. They stuffed it in a box that was flat out too small,
and it bent.
I'm seeing a lot of posts like that.
And I don't know. You'd think Hasbro, especially through Pulse itself, would be able to come up with the correct size boxes. I mean, that seems like a silly thing. But as you can see, I'm going to guess the box is about a half an inch too short because they bend the card stuffing it in there. So if I have I wanted one of these and I ordered the snake eyes on the card. I just wanted them for display. I didn't really intend on opening them. But now that this one's open, I'm happy with that because I think Rick had mentioned a few times that he was excited for this one over the box version because it is more, well, it's not just more cartoon accurate, it's comic accurate too.
Yeah.
Storm Shadow didn't wear gloves.
It's more vintage.
Yes. I don't mind the box figure, don't get me wrong, and I do like the addition of the hood. But I wouldn't have paid $25 for that hood, if that makes any sense to you guys. I know it makes sense to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I missed out on ordering them, so I'm going to have to test my luck on the retail market.
Yeah, me too.
Yep, me too.
I will tell you my only concern, and not to divert, but my only concern at this point in time with G.I. Joe is the fact that the Walmarts especially are just flat out jammed with carded figures. And it's Baroness, Lady J, and there are a ton of leathernecks out there now. Oh, leatherneck. Yeah, I got my Marines confused. Gung ho. That's frustrating to me because the longer these things sit, it just seems like the less Walmart cares, and they're not moving them. So I don't see, there's not shelf space for the new stuff. So I don't know. I'm glad I have one. We'll see what happens. I know a lot of the guys had their Snake Eyes orders canceled from Walmart.com. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, they canceled my Crimson Guards I had ordered, the retro carded Crimson Guards.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on, guys. It's kind of up in the air. Okay, so let's do
this.
Well, yeah, let me do this first. I had a substantial order.
Box.
Just in a minute, bud. Somebody's excited. you think he actually paid for this stuff? He's excited. I got a letter in the box of these two items that showed up yesterday. And I've ordered from McFarlane for a while. This was interesting. It just says, Dear McFarlane Toy Store customers, on a rare occasion, we tend to come across toys that have lost the battle on their journey to our warehouse. It can be a slightly damaged corner or a dent in the packaging. As a token of our appreciation, we have included an extra toy in your order from our collection of damaged packaged toys. These are chosen at random and placed in your box. The packaging is bent, crushed, or dented. However, the item is new. If you are already an out-of-box collector, this should fit right in with your collection. If you are normally an in-package collector, this is your chance to let a toy breathe and experience the one-of-kind smell of freshly opened new toy. Enjoy getting your hands on this free gift. We sincerely appreciate your support. Thank you for choosing McFarlane Toy Store.
And the package's damage was this.
It's got a hole in it, which I have never seen a card. Yeah, the boy had his finger stuck in it. I have never seen a bubble with a hole in it. There's a substantial hole torn in the top of this box. Which, whatever, right? I mean,
and a bunch of crushed up. The figure is in awesome condition.
yeah, no problems with that. It's Warhammer 40,000. And this is the Dark Angels Intercessor artist-proof figure.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's cool. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and start buying the rest of them, but
I said I will.
yeah, you will once you get a job and your own house and a wife. But you're buying too much stuff.
That's why they really threw it in the box.
I never said that.
On something else.
Yeah.
I said the artist
Yeah.
proofs.
Yeah, like crack.
Well, I ordered
kids now.
I had one of the Marines delivered Saturday that got stole off my porch. So
Is that what disappeared?
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Stories like that just it's too much.
Now
It's
you
too
ready
much.
for the order?
Boy, I'm telling you, this kid. I don't know.
He's excited, man.
He's excited.
I
He's
just think
excited.
this stuff's cool.
Yeah, I know you do. You're going to inherit it one of these days. Soon.
because
I
it
think.
is cool.
You keep driving me nuts. You're going to inherit this stuff a lot quicker than I'm thinking. Anyways.
Don't give him no ideas.
Yeah, right. Good luck with that.
And the package
All right.
actually isn't that big. I'm slouching.
Yes, I actually have one. And with just 2 more payments left, it'll actually be mine. I will tell you, this is my first unboxing, so I'm not unboxing because I had no idea what I was getting into with the theft prevention stuff and everything else. So I wanted to show you the box. It's a good size box. It's actually very nice.
I'm still taller.
You're still taller than the box. It's a good thing. It's not. It's got some nice pictures on the sides. This side and this side are very nice. The top is very bland. The ends are very bland. So I think,
And the bottom's worse.
yeah, well, I think you're going to find these stacked like this in the store. Does that make any sense to you guys?
Yeah.
So for those of you that are looking, keep your eyes out for a relatively dark box. And of course, it is labeled The Flash. So it's not DC Multiverse necessarily, but it's got big Flash branding on it. And this is it. First impression, love it. Second impression, hate that canopy. And I will tell you why. The more we've looked at it, it's one piece and it's painted except for the side glass, right? When you watch the other reviews, they called it gray. Boy, it's green, guys. I don't know if I can actually.
Yeah, it does look kind of green.
Does look green.
It's green.
Is the camera?
No, it's all right, man.
Yes,
It's
good.
green. The only assembly required on this particular unit was these 2 tail fins. They snapped right on without any issue. Some of the other guys are griping that all of this injection and fuel porting plumbing is silver, but the wheels are gold. I don't
care. It looks
I
nice.
don't make a big deal out of that. The canopy color, I'll tell you right now, this one's getting painted because this is driving me nuts, actually. The more I look at it, and I love this toy. I love this car.
I don't know how you're going to take that canopy off.
I'll get it. It'll be fun.
I
Yeah,
seen somebody paint it. They taped off the windows and stuff.
Yeah,
They painted it. and then they dull coated the whole thing, and it looked like it rolled out of the movie screen.
That was the other thing I was going to mention, Rick. I have to tell you, I've already wiped this thing down once with rubbing alcohol. We're leaving fingerprints all over this glossy plastic. And the minute you know how super smooth, greasy plastic is, you try to wash it off, it just smears it. So this one's getting a matte finish too, because I love it, but it's just too shiny.
Look, you need to love it, and then you have to repair it.
This nose cone for the turbine, this is like a gunmetal gray, and it matches the rest of the car perfectly. I'm trying to get yes, but don't pop it yet.
I'm going to press
We'll talk about the insides in a minute. That is green, guys. It's not gray, it's green.
I fell.
Which is really annoying. This button here in the middle pops the canopy. You can either slide it forward.
And this I discovered.
Yeah, or you can tilt it up.
Wait, you're doing it wrong still. You're
I'm
pushing
doing it
back.
wrong. Just a couple payments left on him too. We might just talk about repossession here one of these days.
No, I know a good kid kicking repo man.
So that's it. The cockpit.
Hmm.
Yeah, let me see if I can get my angles right. Can you guys see in there at all?
A little bit, yeah.
It's pretty unfancy, if that makes any sense. The gauges are all painted silver, but there's a lot of paint apps inside. It looks nice. And again, it is a one-seater, but once you get the car, you'll understand that there's like buttons and switches on both sides of the seat. So it's not just blank space. Did that make any sense to you? Can you see the stuff in there? Maybe, kind of, sort of. There's
Yeah,
stuff
I
on
can
both
see
sides
it.
of the seat.
I can see it.
Well, you're sitting right here, you doofus.
I'm not talking about it. There, I see it on the screen, which means I see it.
Okay, sit down, would you? Wow, this is not happening again.
Or maybe just use duct tape next time.
This guy. This is the only McFarlane figure I have with a cloth cape, and this was the year 2 commemorative one that they put out last year, which is a big figure. It's a big set, is what it is. So, I'm not going to do this again. This figure will fit in there, but I will tell you what you need to do.
Don't break the arms.
Yeah, that too. You're going to have to bend the knees slightly. Okay. You're going to have to point the toes and kind of turn them inward. And I know this sounds ridiculous, but there's some kind of something up in the dashboard of this toy that gets in the way of the feet. Once you get the figure in the car, let me see. Well, you know what? I said I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do it.
Don't break the arm.
I don't want you guys watching this. You believe what that?
Yeah, close your eyes.
Okay, so as you can see,
Almost broke it.
he's sitting up pretty high. All right, you got to get him down in there.
Don't show them this.
Yeah, I know. This is the scary part.
And if it breaks,
Turn the head and get it tucked up in. All right, you got to get the ears tucked up in behind.
action figures.
There's an open space in here. You see where I'm talking about?
Mhm.
This air inlet, right? Just above where the canopy sits. You got to get the figures, the ears on the cowl up in and underneath to be able to close the canopy. Then you're fine, right?
Actually, no, because then you have to get him out.
Well, then there's that, right? So getting him out was a little easier. Okay, but that's actually the process. Like I said, bend the knees, point the toes, turn them inward, and get ready to wince when you're trying to get the head tucked down in there and stuck up and behind. Other than that, for $60, this thing is 100% worth it. If you are a Bat fan or you collect
Just don't say this right
the
now.
DC Multiverse stuff, you have to you have to at least have this car. If you can find one for $60 all day long. Okay. As far as I know, the Michael Keaton Batman figure has a cloth cape. And somebody had said that the new Batfleck figure has a cloth cape, so that he will go in there too. I'm not sure about that, but I will decide on whether I get those figures when I actually see them in person. I will tell you, I do not collect movie figures. Almost exclusively, I do not.
And you know what? And this is the end of how to destroy your action figures.
Yep, that will do it. All right, so that is the Batmobile.
I can tell you I don't know about the Michael Keaton Batman, but I know the Ray Liotta Batman figure they had at Target's got a cloth cape.
Ray Liotta Batman figure.
Yeah, he looks like Ray Liotta instead of Michael Keaton.
Instead of Michael Keaton.
He
Really?
does not look like Michael Keaton at all.
Well, that's not good because I know for a fact Ray Liotta was dead. So
Why are you
When I
talking
saw it,
about
I
Yoda?
thought, is that Ray Liotta as Batman? What is this?
yeah, that's weird.
Why are you talking about Yoda?
You know we're talking about Yoda.
You ain't you.
So this
talking
was
about Yoda.
this was the surprise.
Say Lee Yoda.
McFarlane had been pretty adamant that the Batwing was coming later, so later than the Batmobile. I got one huge box yesterday, and it contained that Batmobile and
Dun dun dun.
this. And I will tell you right now, this box is empty at this point. And I'm going to tell you guys, it still weighs probably about 4 pounds, just the box.
Okay, I'm not trust this. Let go.
It's a nice box. It's one of these ones that opens up over the top. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It opens up it's like an old timey shoe box. This is
Oh,
it's
okay.
awesome box. Some good artwork on the side. Gives you your display option to hang it on the wall, which I'll show you in a minute. Flash. This gives you the rundown of what it does and doesn't do. Wow, there's retractable landing gear on this thing.
Really?
Shows it. I didn't get that.
Is that what all the
Um,
hatches were on it that we couldn't open?
I don't know. We're going to find out in a minute. So
Nah.
this sucker has a 34-inch wingspan. So we're going to see how, if I end up having to go over to the neighbor's house so you can see this thing put together. We're going to find out. So this, again, guys, I took it out of the box.
We might have to move to the living room.
No, we're not moving. This is the main fuselage of the aircraft. And this was surprising to me because no one pointed this out. This is a nice gray color. As you can see, there isn't a hint of green in it, unlike that canopy. But there's an underspray of silver. So this whole jet has got like scrapes and scratches on it. Where
And dirt marks.
some of the grays and blacks and silver are actually showing through it. Can you see that on that nose?
Yeah.
A little bit, yes.
This looks awesome. This thing is fantastic. Let's do this. There
Those are the landing gears.
is in fact landing gear on this thing that does retract.
What's that sound?
My finger breaking because it doesn't want to come out of there.
Broken fingers. Not
You
good
can
for
see
action
that.
figures.
These things here fold down, and I'm not sure what they represent. Flare launchers or something. I'm not really sure, but it's a cool little feature. One of the neat things about this glass is actually the bottom of the cockpit. So the cockpit has a glass floor, which is actually kind of cool.
Because you can see right through it.
And this is that pops open with authority, as they say, which is very cool.
Now, we don't know what this is.
It's just a cover, bud. The inside, it's got nice screens on it, like a radar screen,
I can't see.
stuff like that in here. I'm hoping you guys can see that, but a lot of painted controls. It's really very nice. There's guns on the side. There's guns on the belly. There's guns on the wings. What am I missing? Nothing, I
The
guess.
third one of those,
There is more landing gear in the front, which is 2 swing out doors.
and a very small landing gear.
There it goes.
And
So yes, there's actually landing gear on the nose too. So let's
build it.
Yep, we'll build it. I'm going to talk about the mounting real quick. This is the mounting plate that goes on the wall.
Give me that card. Give me.
Don't worry about the guide right now. It's taped in there. You can set the screws in there to the wall and then put this. This is kind of a cool feature. This cover snaps right over the screw heads so you don't see it anymore. Believe it or not, guys, this thing comes with wall anchors, sheetrock wall anchors, the screws, and 2 solid steel rods that go into these little holes right here when you pop the covers out to mount this thing to the wall if you wanted it to sit vertically, just sitting on the wall. That's pretty cool. They give you wall anchors. It also says this is not a toy. You kind of get what I'm saying with that? You get hardware like that, they're basically telling you this thing is not a toy. This is not for kids.
It's for 12-year-olds who like collecting stuff. It
Yeah,
says 12 and
it's
up.
also for 53-year-olds that have the money to pay for them. So,
Points.
points. Let's do this.
The Deadly Blade.
Comes with 2 big wings.
Or as I like saying, Deadly Blade.
They got some curve to them, so you can pretty much which way is up. Both of them have these, and they're faults. These pop down, pop open gun wings. They don't move, but they kind of look cool. Let's see.
Fear my blade.
We'll wince until we hear the
Fear my
pop.
blade.
Boy, I don't like that.
You sure the right wing was on?
Well, I can't imagine they curve up, but maybe they curve up.
Curve up.
My grandson, the engineer, apparently was correct. So,
I observed before I put them on. I tried to
I've
put them
observed
on at
plenty
least.
of things in my day too, and that doesn't.
What, that I'm not standing up?
Okay, that'll give you an idea.
That it almost knocks me out? Yes.
That's both of the wings. To give you another idea
Hey, don't hit me.
from the cockpit side, this sucker is impressive. It's solid. This is very solidly built.
Ow, my knee. My knee.
Let's do.
The try to knock
Boy,
out Emmett game.
I'm running out of real estate here. Let's put the wings on. So that the tail fins, or
Whatever you want to call them.
can't remember what they used to call it. I know the ailerons with the flaps, right, guys, on aircraft, but I can't remember what they call the stabilizer fins.
But
Got a special name.
trust
too.
me, if you're able to handle 40-year-old toys doing this, I think you'll be fine handling a brand new toy.
Boy, I hope so, because I've busted plenty of 40-year-old toys too. I just didn't tell you about it.
The only thing you're about to bust is my skull.
You know, there's a chance of that too, right?
You're swinging this thing around like it's some sort of
Well, yeah.
sword.
As a warning while he's doing that, these extra pieces for the nose,
I have it.
thank
You
you.
don't get to say what you're saying.
These were
I'm not doing
tucked
that anymore.
inside of some of the isolating cardboard in the bigger box. Do you know what I'm saying by that? Some of the folded, blocked, and taped cardboard.
Yeah.
We thought these were missing, but they were hidden in some of the packing cardboard. So don't start tossing stuff if you get one and you open it. Make sure you get all of the pieces, because, like I said, these were kind of hidden. So there is no electronics, no lights on either one of
You're
these.
gonna drop it again.
Yeah, I know, but on either one of these, and I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure it's really missing, if that makes any sense. This is, after all, Batman stuff. It really shouldn't be lit up necessarily.
The only thing that should be lit up is stuff.
Okay, so that's
A way to knock out me.
that's the Batwing. As you can see, this is not the same Batwing from the film in 1989. This is a much modernized version. So when
I'll turn the camera around and hold it just for reference.
no, I'm going to have you put it over there for a minute because we're really out of space. I will say this: even this Batman figure fits in that thing slick. There is no problems. There's no finagling. Nothing. He slides right in. You close the canopy. There's no issues with that fitment.
This is literally my entire torso.
Yeah, pretty much, bud.
To my chin.
That's $250. Those are still available. The Batmobile sold out so fast that for those guys that want them, you're going to be stuck trying to find them at retail. We're still a little more than a month before the movie comes out, so it shouldn't be a problem. Rick, you can go to four-way again if you want. I don't have anything else to show. Thank
Except
you.
me almost falling over with a Batwing.
Okay, bud. That's an awesome thing, but it's expensive. And I have to tell you,
I'm just gonna park it on the floor.
okay, the Batmobile is a bargain at $60. Even if you choose to repaint and putz with stuff and everything else, and you could easily put lights in it if you wanted
There you
to.
go. How's that look?
That's a bargain. The Batwing, you got to be a Bat fan to spend that kind of money. But I will say this: if you are a Bat fan, spend it because you won't be disappointed in that. That thing's awesome. To change gears, I will say this: from the time that I opened up that Batwing, I got thinking about the HISS tank and the griping and the complaining of a $300 price tag on the HISS tank. At this point in time, because the tiers were reached, what are we at? $125 in just figures, right? With the HISS tank. Because of the price increases that have happened since, at least $125, right? We're not talking about any, extra value that's added to them because of rarity or any of that other stuff. I'm just talking retail price. You're at another $125, which puts the price of that HISS tank with the electronics down to what? $175.
Yep.
Right? Then you get the rarity aspect of that HISS tank because they're rare. I mean, yeah, there were 26,000 of them, but huge numbers of that went right to the hands of resellers. So there is still a rarity there because collectors that have them are not going to let them go. There'll always be a secondary market of them, but so I got to tell you, $175 for you guys that put the money in and were able to do it and everything else. I got to tell you, you guys got a screaming bargain on that HISS tank. Because again, a year later, the Batwing comes out at $250. There's no lights, there's no electronics, there's no figure. There isn't even a figure that comes with that thing.
The only thing that comes with it is weight and space loss.
And a bill. Now, is it worth it to me as a lifelong Batman fan? Absolutely.
Yes.
Would it be worth it for the casual collector? No. It's just not that kind of piece. The Batmobile, you know what? You can drop $60 and put it on your coffee table and be perfectly happy forever and ever and ever because it's an awesome car.
Be happy.
Right. I just wanted to say that about the HISS tank. That's a screaming deal at this point in time. So that kind of leads us into, I know you guys kind of touched on it last week.
I was listening to last episode while playing a video game.
What the heck have we got coming as far as a HasLab for this year? I think it's pretty apparent that there's something coming for a HasLab this year.
Dragonfly.
I'm not convinced. I'm not 100% convinced. After seeing this thing, I have to tell you the Dragonfly seems to be more feasible than it was before. In that $300 to $350 price tag, I can see a Dragonfly. Whether that story that we got is real or not,
How
you know,
about Mobat?
boy, I don't see the Mobat.
I mean, either.
That'd probably be as big as this.
No, the Mobat would be probably twice that size easily, and probably run about $500 to build a tank.
Mm-hmm.
His tank is a high-speed Sentry, right? It's a tank, but it's not an M1 Abrams tank. It's not even whatever the Mobat was based on. It wasn't a Sherman by any means. It was one of the other tanks, but I don't see a Mobat. I don't see
Vamp.
I don't see a Vamp being competition for his tank. Not on that scale. Not the his tank that Classified delivered. I don't see the Vamp as combat competition for that hiss.
To be honest, it'd probably be blown.
So what was it? The fudgical comment. So everybody jumped all over it, and it's just like, oh, it's going to be a Snowcat. Are we really going to go straight to an Arctic vehicle?
I mean, we only got one Arctic character.
I don't see that happening either. Where are you guys at with? What do you got guesstimates? You got any ideas on what you think?
Speculation?
Yeah, speculation on HasLab for this year. Any ideas? Any guesses? You need to go get ready for bed. I don't need any more help.
It's only 8:49.
Yep. Well, you're still going to do it, so go on.
I'm going with Vamp.
Yeah, but really, thank you for the help.
Adios.
Wait a minute. I'm going to stick with my original prediction of the Warthog because it's comparable in size to his, just a little smaller, but we've got Slaughter.
Yep.
And now we're getting the Mad Marauders. So I'm going to stick with my prediction of a Warthog.
It'd be pretty awesome, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I think if they did do a Vamp, they would have to include a pull behind
Yes.
Whirlwind or something. Because I don't
Exactly.
think Vamp alone would cover the price tag they put on it.
Exactly.
Well, it depends on what they set the price tag at, and plus you think about all the goals that it's easy to do to put
Right.
to get in the Vamp. You got two or three different things to haul.
Yep.
Vamp can also be they could have some crazy thing and going, okay, it's $250, but for $400 you get the Vamp and a Stinger. So because it's just basically a repaint and restuff.
Mhm.
So I mean, if I was Hasbro, I'd pull that out. I'd pull that out of my bag. Because
And even with that, you could get two figures there automatically.
Yep, and you can get an ass for it to pull. You can get
The MMS.
missile lasers for the pull. I mean, just So and then that the ass and all that kind of the ass would go with the hiss because it could pull it, and then the Stinger. I mean, so it. I don't know it. I just see that being a real easy thing for them to do, and load it down with different tiers with stuff for it to pull and everything, and then of course the drivers, like Shane said, it already has its own driver and stuff. So,
And you
that's
could
just
also add with Clutch in there as a driver. You could add Breaker because they were buddies,
yeah,
just different. Another trooper with that thing. Went blank. I mean, there's possibilities great too.
I can tell you what, I'm all on board with what you guys just said. I remember right from the beginning, it was Clutch with the Ram Cycle, which we have, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sorry, it was Breaker with the Ram Cycle, right? And it was clutch with the Vamp. And it was the MMS, which came with Hawk, right? If I'm remembering right. Wasn't the original MMS come with Hawk?
Yes.
It seems to me that it would make sense that they kind of get back to that first 13. You see what I'm saying? Especially where Coco is included with this hiss. It would make sense to give us a clutch, right? Give us a Hawk with an MMS as tier stuff. And I got to tell you, I love the idea Rick just hit on that we could get the Asp as a tier for our hiss tank for a more budget-friendly base vehicle like a Vamp. I'd really like to see them get back and start finishing out those original 13. And a Vamp would be perfect. The Vamp was the first G.I. Joe toy I had. Bought it brand new, and it wasn't long after that I had the Ram cycle and then the figures, and then it just blew up from there. I just can't see a Snowcat being the first classified G.I. Joe vehicle being made. Not with the Vamp unmade. I just can't see that. I just can't see a Snowcat being on the list.
I think about, these toy companies are great at dropping hints on their packaging.
Yeah.
I mean, Mattel, Hasbro, they've been doing it for years now.
Yep.
I mean, look at your Origin lines. Nearly every upcoming figure is on a past Origin package.
Yep.
And the only vehicle we have actually seen on any packaging is a Snowcat.
Well, you think it's a Snowcat. You don't know what that is.
It looks like it to me. The backside of it, with the treads and everything. But I mean, it could easily be because you could get a Frostbite, Iceberg. We got Snow Job. You get a Blizzard. Just different figure tiers. With it. I mean, possibility. Never know.
I wonder because with the Hiss tank, it comes with 4 figures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And there's you got the cockpit for the driver. You got Coco can go in the turret, and then there's seats in the back for the other 2. So I'm thinking they're probably going to offer 4 figures for the tiers. So you need a vehicle that'll hold at least four figures. Now, if you do say the Vamp with the Hall, you could have clutch and maybe short fuse and Grand Slam to go with the Hall. That would be 3 figures. And then maybe they throw in another, maybe like the MMS with Hawk. That would get you 4 figures, plus you'd have a Vamp and 2 pull behinds. I'm trying to think what other vehicles that they could do that would hold 4 figures, because I think that's what they're going to shoot for. And maybe I'm wrong. And that's why, like the Dragonfly, you're only looking at 2 figures unless you have 2 standing on the outside like you could with the old. But I just got a feeling that they're going to go with something that'll hold all the figures.
And so again, that's why I go back to the Warthog.
Yeah.
Because
I like the logic on that one.
you got 2 up front, one on the gunner, one on the driver's side, then you got the storage for troops in the back.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll throw this one. I'm looking at the back of this Storm Shadow, which is figure number 35, which is last year, right? We finally got these in the fall after a severe delay of a few months, right? I think everybody can kind of agree on that. These figures were at least 6 months late. So I'm looking at this packaging. We're showing, I mean, the Mauler is front and center, right in the smack in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
There's an Awstriker, the bridge layer, what looks to be a somewhat more modern Mobat. There's a Vamp here. There's an Armadillo. There's the Wolverine. And then there's the Havoc. Let me ask you guys, because that kind of came kind of later. You start talking about numbers of figures. How iconic is the Havoc? Is it iconic?
I love the Havoc. If that means we get a cross country, I'm all for that.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering. I mean, I'm looking at the package now and I'm going, well, you know what? I think Rick and John are both correct. They're going to be looking for space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Now, that really only leaves you two things. That's a Warthog or a Havoc,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Because either one of
Snowcat holds two, period.
Well, they could go cheesy and do the APC if you're just talking about carrying
Ooh.
figures.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was thinking about that one too, but that then you could have then you'd have plenty of room to put all your Joes.
Yep.
yeah, but
But
good Lord,
still,
how big would the
APC
APC be?
with these figures, that would be huge.
It would be huge.
It would
Yep.
be bigger than that Batwing.
Yeah, it would have to be. That sucker would have to be 4 feet long.
Because it held what? Two people, two in the front,
Two in the cab.
one in the gunner seat up top with the turret, right? Didn't have one in before you had somebody in there, or no?
No, it was just a gun on top. But
Yeah.
And then
But
it
you-
held 16 figures inside of it, 8 on
Yeah.
each side.
yeah, and then you had a row where you could stand them down the middle too. So
Mhm.
you could, it
That
would
would be,
yeah.
that would be massive.
I had forgotten about the APC.
And you know, if what you said, Dave, about the handle, you know, it was the handle to carry it, but also if it was if you could pull it out and store the RAM, we done got the RAM cycle.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You know, that
Yeah.
could be a possibility. What would be cool if they done it with a cloth camouflage top instead of being
That would be
raw
awesome.
plastic?
Yeah.
That would actually be cool. Yes.
Yeah.
That actually would be cool. Well, this is it. I'm just studying this box art. There's hisses. There's hiss tanks represented. The Night Raven is here, which we know isn't going to happen. There's a Rattler. X-30 Conquest. And I'm looking at it. The Shark is there. Skyhawk is there. And I'm looking at this. There is a Dragonfly on the back of this box.
Mm-hmm.
That's an iconic Joe vehicle.
Yeah, exactly.
There's rattlers on there too. You think we're gonna get a rattler?
No, not this year.
A Rattler could easily be the size of that Batwing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, easily.
Well, see, we've already got. They've already done. You know, the Jeep, the Havoc, already getting the little miniature, the Jada toys, all that stuff. So they're already producing these toys.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, I don't know. I think that's just an easy thing to put tiers with, all that kind of stuff. You know, if they wanted to be cheap and just do a thing, you can get 4 or 5 figure on Triple T.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, that's true
you
too.
know,
What do you think about a whale?
Oh Lord, I think that would be freaking awesome.
I think I'd have to take out a mortgage.
Yeah,
So,
But
Yeah.
really though, if you think majority of the
Still a
whales,
liver or a kidney,
yeah,
a heart, something.
yeah. But when you think about it, the bottom was just a bit. I mean, it would just be a big shell. It wouldn't have a whole lot of internal stuff in it,
Mm-mm.
and you
No,
could
that
do
is
that.
true.
And you're talking maybe. I mean, well, Galactus is what 38 inches tall, and
Yeah.
if they get 38 inches long, that would probably be pretty close.
yeah.
I got to say, it's funny. And going back after all of these years, going back and reading through the collected editions that I've managed to accumulate from the comic, I had forgotten what a major player the whale was in the comics. The whale vehicle itself was in a lot of issues. At this point in time, I think Cutter's been in as many issues as anybody. And I'm up into the 70s at this point. I would love to see a whale with, you know, rubber skinned on the, you know, the bottom of it and everything else, because, you know,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it would be friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
And again, this is one of those weird times where I sit there and go, boy, I wish I had a 3D printer, because I swear I'd be making most of this stuff.
Yeah.
It would probably be in the 400 price range instead of the 300. I would.
I
I
think
mean,
so.
it would probably be on the higher side, but
I think it would be a lot more.
I bet it would. You know, I get what you're saying, though, John, because the front of it was just a compartment for the sled and the mini bike.
right.
The mini bike was on the back of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know how those were. They were always stuck in the belly of them. And nobody ever put it in.
And the front, you know, flipped open, and you had troop storage where you could put. the
Yeah.
But it, like I said, it's just an open hole in it. It's not like
Well,
it's.
To be honest, really, look at this. how many pieces could be a tier here for this?
Well, see, that's it, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'd love a Mobat. That'd be bloody awesome, you know. So,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
yeah, but okay, let's do this. How much do you think a modernized Mobat would cost?
It's
350.
not much bigger than the Hiss.
It would probably be 400, 350
Yeah.
to 400.
Yeah. And
So,
and you get one. I mean, unless they really seriously modified it, there's one figure.
Yeah.
Right, it's Steeler. It's just one figure. He's sitting in the turret, and that's it. And like I said, unless it was really seriously modified, I can see the Mauler making more sense than the Mobat if you wanted to try to have figures as a tier.
yeah,
Just
that Mauler would be costly, but I'd love to have one. In a
wouldn't it be awesome? Wouldn't it be awesome?
And would they motorize them to keep up with the
Boy, I don't know.
feel of the old modernized, modernize it up some?
If they want to motorize, shoot, you could make the Vamp remote control.
You could pretty easily.
That'd be an easy thing from remote control cars. I mean, so like I said, I just think that because they could turn around and then reproduce a retail version on that body to turn it into a Stinger. They could do the Vamp Mark II. I mean, once they got that mold set, they can make all kind of money. And we know Hasbro don't like repaints. They're very against it, but they might consider it.
Right.
So I mean, the Warthog would be cool, but once they did it, that's the Warthog. Technically, the Hiss, they could redo the Hiss. They could release one in red, be the Crimson Hiss.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Change it around, go back to the 90s and do the septic tank, from the Eco Warriors. I mean, there's a lot they could do with that basic body thing from that Hiss. And the Vamp, they could, with all the little pieces it could haul, all that kind of stuff, and the troops that it kept. Yeah, you could just, that would just be it wouldn't surprise me if they released, we'll give you a Vamp, blah, 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 Mark I, blah, blah. Yes, so I want one. That would be awesome. That's iconic character, or vehicle, or these vehicles are about characters themselves. So, they pretty much took on their own personalities over the years.
Yeah, they did. It's weird, isn't it? Because we'd never seen, other than Star Wars stuff, we hadn't seen anything like that.
Yeah.
Let's face it, G.I. Joe was a lot more diverse with the vehicles than Star Wars ever thought of being. So, we just got a couple minutes left. What do you got, John? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, to me, it would be more feasible to make the Vamp a retail because it's not that big. And like Rick said, then they could do the Tiger Force for Target, and then they could still do the Stinger, and then you could do the pull behinds. Those aren't that big. I mean, I could say if McFarlane put out that Batmobile as big as it is, and stores carry it, then I can't see them not carrying something like the Vamp, which wouldn't be near as long as that Batmobile. And that Batmobile is made for 7-inch figure. This you're talking 6.
Yeah, there's a big difference. I mean, it doesn't have to be this big.
When you base that, you have to consider the failures with the 1/6, the 1/12 scaled Star Wars figures, ships.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't sell the TIE Fighter, the land speeder, the snow speeder, people played the long game on them and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and because everybody like, we'll do it retail, so it would make sense they could release that, in retail stuff, or they could put some nice fancy lights on it and all that kind of stuff like they did the Hiss tank, because they could have actually done it retail too. They just didn't make it so fancy.
Right.
And but so the Vamp could have working headlights, tail lights, all stuff, steering, all that shit like they put in the Robbie Reyes car, that failed.
Mm-hmm.
Had all that fancy stuff, so they know how to do that already. So they could really make that Vamp really nice and everything. So and then later, if it sold really good, they could release a basic version of the Stinger, the Vamp Mark II, or all. I mean, so once they get that mold, they could make that's just money they could print. So.
Right.
So let's do this. We're at the 2-hour mark. So let's close it out with this. And again, gentlemen, a heartfelt thank you to all of for you guys, especially your support and our members. Subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And then over the next week in the comments, why don't you guys give us your top 3 that you want to see the next G.I. Joe HasLab? You understand what I'm saying? We've been told it's going to be a Joe Team vehicle. So why don't you guys give us a top 3 in the comments, and we can check we can check that out next week. How's that? So to all of you, let's just say a good night. And subscribe. Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.